Good evening, Littleton. Welcome to the November 17th Select Board meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, Gary?
Yes.
Thanks.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Just kind of wanted to acknowledge this passing of our former police chief, Bruce Barker, earlier this week. I believe it was the 12th. Just a little bit about Bruce Barker. He was the police chief back in early 70s, I think 1974, at the ripe age of 24 years old. So he held that position for at least almost a decade. Besides being such a young chief, what makes it interesting, he was actually the chief of Littleton and Boxborough at that time, to give you an idea of what the town looked like. So we're going to do a moment of silence, but I first wanted to let everyone know that the funeral service will take place on Saturday, November 22nd at 11 a.m. at First Parish, and that's in Concord Center on 20 Lexington Road. And the 21st on Friday will be the wake at the D Funeral Home at 27 Bedford Street, and you can see his obituary at the D Funeral Home website as well. He had an extraordinary life. So if we could just take a few seconds to have a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. This evening we have, we'll start with the mail, then we'll go over to department and board updates, then over to public input and members updates. Public hearings, Energy North is requesting a change of manager. Zach's Automotive is requesting an application for a Class 2 auto dealer license. We'll move over to licensing, select board discussions at 7:25 on a couple permits to review, among other things. Town administrator update, and then minutes. We'll adjourn promptly at 7:45 p.m. Let's go ahead and start with the mail, please.
Thank you, Madam Chairwoman. Let's talk about current vacancies on the town boards. We got opportunities with the Agricultural Commission, Committee for the Exploration of Real Estate, Tax Relief for Seniors, Economic Development Committee, Master Plan Implementation Committee, Permanent Municipal Building Committee, Personnel Advisory Committee, Sustainability Committee, Zoning Board of Appeals, and an appointment by Littleton Electric, Light, and Water Department. There's one opportunity on their Finance Committee. And here we have sign up to receive public notifications for the town of Littleton. Scan the QR code or register at www.littletonma.org/subscribe. Community impacts, public safety activity, town meeting changes, town events, public health concerns, transportation issues. Stay informed. We have announcement of select board office hours, Tuesday, November 4th, which, sorry about that. Monday, November 24th, from 2 to 4 with Mr. Rombacher. Friday, December 5th, from 12:30 to 2:30 with Chairwoman Morrison. Monday, December 22nd, from 2 to 4 with Mr. Rombacher. DPW seeking snowplow contractors for the 2025-2026 winter season. Packets available at the DPW office at 39 Air Road. On the DPW website, or call 978-540-2670 for information. Rates begin at $100 an hour and up to $153 an hour, depending on equipment. Incentive sign-up bonuses of $1,000. We have some gift acceptance. We've got from Liz Tridiak from EHS, COA, the party offering the gift, Kristen Grimes, in the amount of $664.63 for the TRED Fund, tax relief for the elderly and disabled. Thank you very, very much for your generous gift. And another one. from Liz, from the COA and EHS, from the Friends of Littleton COA, a $10,000 gift for the TRED Fund, tax relief for the elderly and disabled. They never stop giving, huh? That's great. Here we have, there's a couple other announcements we'd like to, the Friendsgiving, happening Monday, November 24th at 1 p.m., the Center on Shattuck in the multipurpose room. Singing Trooper performs at 3 p.m. Call to register at 978-540-2470, and it's sponsored by the Littleton Rotary Club. Always a very well-attended event. And I think we have one more. And then, any need of ice melt and sand mix, get a bucket delivered for free. The Sand for Seniors, the Littleton Elder and Human Services, the Council on Aging. Call them and they will arrange for some sand to be delivered to your home. 978-540-2470. Great job, EHS. Thank you. I think that's it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
First order of business under Department Board updates and requests. We have a special recognition of Richard Kent from Elder and Human Services. Mr. Kent has been volunteering here in Littleton in various roles for nearly 50 years. I was just so impressed by what I read that Liz noted, that he's started with the firefighters and EMS back in 1978, and then worked as a volunteer driver for Meals on Wheels, and then he became a part-time driver for the Council on Aging. And he's recently retired from his position, and we want to thank him for his 50 years of service. We have a certificate of recognition. The Littleton Select Board recognizes Richard Kent on behalf of the people of Littleton in recognition of your nearly 50 years of service. Thank you for your dedication and commitment to the town of Littleton and compassion to those we serve. Mr. Kent, will you come up? Can we do a picture?
Absolutely.
You up for a picture?
Sure.
Thanks.
That was a yellow book.
One, two, three. Excellent. Thank you.
And then I'm just going to take this real quick.
Thank you.
Let's sit down, we can read that. Got a bigger citation, must be some mistake. Nice big folder.
Big fancy folders.
We need to get a bigger folder, we gotta outdo the state.
I know.
Yes. Just very quickly, this came in a little bit last minute, but we also have a citation from the House of Representatives for you, Rich. And this was signed by Representative Arcero for recognizing your service of nearly 50 years to the town of Littleton. You have been driving that van and helping Littleton longer than I've been alive, and I just want to thank you for everything you've done for our town. You've trained so many other drivers. I think you've trained everyone who's here in this room right now, and we really appreciate everything you've done. I've seen him carry groceries up to third-floor apartments, go around Market Basket, helping push carts. Truly above and beyond, and happy retirement.
Next, we have a vote from Human Resources. Is Michelle? Yep, she is here.
Good evening, Michelle Vibert, Human Resources Director. it's a tough act to follow. I don't bring exciting news. But as you know, the last couple of months, we have been reviewing our health insurance and our plan design for our health insurance as costs have significantly increased. And one of the things that we have come across is that the plan designs we have been reviewing, the proposed features exceed the benchmark, which is the Group Insurance Commission plan. And we have been operating under Section 2123, under Chapter 32B. Because those plans exceed those features, we can no longer operate under 2123. We have to operate under Section 19. So my request in front of you is for the board to vote to accept Section 19 under Chapter 32B of Mass General Law to discuss health insurance plan design changes.
Does anybody have any questions?
Can you say a little bit what the difference is?
I can, but I highly recommend that the email I had sent to you last week that contains the chart in it, I don't want to go into too much detail, only because that is part of negotiations. I highly recommend looking at that chart. If you want to go in further depth, we can book an executive session.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else?
Well, that was,
Okay.
okay, I'll move to accept Mass General Law, Chapter 32B, Section 19 for health insurance plan design negotiations.
Second.
Moved by Gary, seconded by Matthew. All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're mandated to do this, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so make sure.
Public input? Does anybody have anything? Hearing nothing, we'll move on to members' updates. Mark, you want to kick it off?
Sure. So as the town administrator announced, I'll be doing office hours on Monday, November 24th from 2 to 4 in the library. Last week was a crazy busy week. I was at the Charter Commission. We met with Parks and Lakes, Clean Lakes. I was at the Planning Board meeting. I attended our Assabet Regional Housing Consortium. They have a quarterly meeting over at Devon's where they had, two presenters, one talking about, one from the Boston area that was talking about how to get housing built, they basically build consensus among the neighborhoods and how that works. And another talking about zoning changes that they recommend to make to encourage more housing in town. So it was very informative. I have signed up I put my name in as an applied to be a CHAPA housing advocate, which involves 25 hours of meetings over the next 6 months. Most of them virtual, yay for that part, so we'll see how that goes. I wanted to remind everyone the Holiday Bazaar is coming up on December 6th, and the tree lighting will be on December 7th.
Thank you. Matthew?
Mark and I toured the orchard last week, or a week and a half ago. I
They
can't
all
remember
blend
at this
together.
point. So the Massachusetts Department of Agricultural Resources does an annual inspection of the agricultural preservation restriction on the orchard. And Delia Deschamps is the name of the person who does that inspection. She was very, very positive about John's handling of the orchard. Super impressed with his cleanup of it and how much he's done with invasives and trash, junk. She had no concerns whatsoever, and she talked a lot to both of us about grants that were available for infrastructure improvements, some of which may need to come through the town, but some of which, since he has such a long lease, John can actually apply for. So it was pretty encouraging. I attended the Littleton Conservation Trust annual meeting, and the keynote speaker was a guy named Tim Brothers, who's the manager at the MIT Wallace Observatory in Westford, and he talked about how light pollution is changing things, not least of which the fact that he can't do observations of stuff in the sky anymore. But there were a lot of fascinating information about how lights actually work with your eyes. And the fact that in Groton, they did an experiment and they replaced some of the bright streetlights with much less bright, yellower light, which has less glare. They ended up using a quarter of the energy. And he said that the police insist that those lights are brighter and they can see better than they did before they had the bright white ones. So I think it's like, he had some pictures to show like how the glare affected you. It was fascinating.
It really was.
And there's a lot of stuff that people can do to just, install, yellower lights with down lighting instead of
50,000 lumens.
Yeah, instead of like bouncing it into the air and wasting the energy. And then the last thing is, I think many of you saw the news about the giant fire in Amherst last weekend. It was in a large apartment complex, and it started in an adjacent building under construction. And from what I've read, Amherst was woefully understaffed and under-equipped to fight the fire. And they were hampered by a lack of water pressure. I guess they used 1 million gallons the first night to try to put it out, and they didn't succeed in getting it out the first night. And I think we are very well prepared compared to Amherst. But I would love to hear about, disaster preparedness, like what have we done to make sure that we don't end up in the same situation? I mean, I can't help but think of the similarity between that complex and what's going in at 550 King Street. What are we doing about gasoline tank storage in the buildings under construction, which was apparently a cause of a bunch of explosions that caused the fire to spread much more rapidly. So I would be very interested to hear from Nick and Steele about their take on it and how prepared we are.
I mean, the fire suppression, the new code on fire suppression is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that helps, but
So why didn't
we
it
do have
work?
some, I know.
Why didn't it work in this case?
Is it are they old building? We don't know. I don't know.
No, they're very new.
That's
And
surprising,
I
yeah.
mean, they were literally the one adjacent to the one that
Yeah.
was under construction.
Wow.
The other thing that happened is everybody in the building evacuated themselves. It was all basically college students.
Wow.
If it had been filled with families or seniors, I think it could have been very, very bad.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Jeez.
but I'm interested in finding out more about that. That's all I got.
Gary?
Let's see. Veterans Day, that was last week. We had a great showing. It seemed like the coldest day of the year out there in the wind, but we just wanted to thank you, Madam Chair, and I know Mr. Arciaro, Representative Arciaro was there. He gave a speech as well. Went off well. It was well attended, and it was short. Got us in and out of there. So a lot of us went over to the VFW with a lot of the veterans afterwards. It was a good day. Reminder that there's, on top of a couple of things that were already mentioned, Toys for Tots. Littleton puts this on every year at the police station. So that'll be on December 13th from 10 to 2. It's one of the better ones in this area, in this region. So very well attended, a lot of giving, and it'll be at the Littleton Police Station, as always. I too watched the news outside of the Amherst fire, but something struck me today about just kind of our budget as we approach the budget season. I was watching Whitman Hanson laid off 23 teachers and administrative personnel. And that just, with a $1.4 million shortfall. So that's something, just kind of hits you to really think about how important the stewardship is in the finance committee and the select board and the town administration on how we get this right with our looking out. And I watched basically the superintendent fell on the sword, if you will, saying that it was his fault and everything. We know that a lot more goes into that than the superintendent when we're working a budget. But so when we talk about we're in good financial standing and we're keeping things in books, that also includes looking out 5 years, 10 years. So when we talk about these things, that we never get hit with a crisis, that we don't have to ever lay people off. So. Just something that I was thinking of as I watched that.
And we're fortunate that we do work well with our school department. In a lot of other communities, that's not necessarily the case. Where there's, it's always us versus them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to piggyback on a few things because most of most of the things I had were mentioned, but just mentioning the Toys for Tots, that is the police station. It's put on by the Littleton Police Department, by Chief Bernard and Representative Arciero. So those are, that will be, there's actually a feeder program to that on the 7th, Sunday the 7th, at Littleton Middle School at 10 o'clock. There is a 10 to 4, I believe, is a touch-a-truck at Littleton Middle School. AG Landscaping is putting it on, inviting other local businesses to show up and showcase their vehicles, so the kids can go out and do the touch-a-truck and then head up to the tree lighting. Last year, Adam Gentili owns AG Landscaping. He did his own kind of Toys for Tots just at his shop, and he rolled in with a dump truck full of toys for the kids at the police station. So it's really a feeder program for the Toys for Tots that the police and representative do. I'll say it because you're too humble, but on Veterans Day, the new veterans agent really did a great job. Everything was tight. It was well done. It was he definitely was aware of the weather and did move things along quite nicely. But just the taps and in combination with LCTV, the PA system was great. So hats off to everybody that had a hand in pulling that off, and the Friends of Littleton VFW as well, the Friends of the Veterans. They sponsored the luncheon back at the V. And this Saturday, the way that they fund that is by having fundraisers throughout the course of the year, the Friends. And this Saturday evening, they're having a trivia night. So I think there's room for another team or two. So if anybody wants to get their trivia on this Saturday at the VFW, you can contact, actually, if anybody's interested, you can contact me, and I'll put you in touch with the coordinators.
5:30 p.m.
It starts at 6, but they tell me 5:30. Otherwise, you guys saw me rolling here at 6:31. It is at 5:30. What else did I have? I had the bazaar. Thank you. This Wednesday, Littleton Business Association in combination. Are you going to say something about that, Alan? Is that why you're here?
I can.
No, that's fine.
Talk about the Rotary issues.
Okay, hold on. LBA is putting together something with some other local business associations and other businesses at the Point, at the Courtyard Marriott. Courtyard Marriott is going to have hors d'oeuvres. If folks can bring a non-perishable items to donate to Loaves and Fishes, it's a great opportunity for us to stock the shelves and help out our neighbors.
What was that?
It's Wednesday night at 7 p.m.
5:30.
5:30, thank you, see? Actually, I'm looking at the wrong thing, so yeah, it's 5:30, thank you, Mark. I think that's it for me.
Anything coming up from the high school drama department?
Pardon me?
The high school drama department have anything coming up?
I got something coming up. Why wouldn't you say that? Same reason I didn't do the veterans agent.
It's our town, right?
Our town, yes,
The 4th through the 7th of December?
correct. Wilder. Yeah, it's-
Tickets are on sale now, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get in trouble, thanks, Mark.
Is that it?
Yes, I believe so.
Mark, is Chuck done?
I hope so.
Matthew, do I have anything else?
I'm good, thanks.
No, did I?
All right. You mentioned superintendents. Dr. Kelly Clenchy from our schools announced his retirement effective in
Yeah.
July. I wanted to congratulate him and wish him all the best. He's just been a tremendous asset to the community, and he's a big reason why I think our relationship is so good with the schools in particular. Also wanted to thank our VSO, Michael Wilson, for the Veterans Day ceremony, and Jim Arciero, LCTV, Friends of Littleton Veterans, and of course, everyone who attended. I met with the Board of Health last week, the chair and vice chair, regarding email and, personal email versus group email. That was with Matthew. We're going to continue to work with them on that. I attended the PMBC meeting. They did discuss a question that I think you had, Mark, about whether Shattuck Street could get LEED certification. And they said that because they're not seeking grants for that, like they did for the library, they're not going to, it's not going to be LEED certified. He said it would be very difficult to do it retroactively. Let's see. I also attended the Dark Skies presentation. I thought the most interesting thing to me, I mean, among a lot of interesting things, was just the way he defined light pollution, which was light pollution is energy waste. Which is such a simple way to put it. You know, when you think about light pollution, I always thought, you know, oh, it's for the observatories, and oh, it's for the tourists out west, you know. But when you think about it in terms of wasted energy, which is wasted dollars and wasted resources, it sort of puts a different spin on it. Let's see. I think that's all I had. Thank you. All right. Is it 7 o'clock yet? Ooh, 2 minutes away.
Do you want to give Alan an opportunity, since he wasn't here when you started, the public input for the Rotary stuff?
Sure. Public input?
Should I?
Yeah,
address
please.
the board?
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me come and speak today. I'm Alan Bell. Many of you, I think, know me. And here to speak on behalf of the Rotary that we wanted to respectfully request permissions to do the tree lighting, which I understand we need to do this year, so we're doing that. I've only been involved in it about the past 17 years, but Jim Barasano, who would have made the presentation tonight, but who had an emergency, so he asked me to step in for him. He says he's been involved in this for about 40 years, the tree lighting. And as you may all know, we have the Neshoba Valley Chorale, the high school band, free hot cider, about 30 dozen donuts this year that we're ordering. Personalized ornaments that the kids can design for the tree, and the cooperation of Littleton Electric Light and Water, the Highway Department, the Fire Department, and the police, and we've been doing this for a long time. I think most of you might have seen us do that. And we have Santa with the fire truck lowering down into the commons, so we're looking forward to that this year. I just wanted to make sure if there are any questions or any issues that I could try to address them at this point.
Great event every year.
Yep.
Okay,
Above
thank
and
you.
beyond.
I did want to mention two other things. One is that we also do a Friendsgiving luncheon for the seniors. That happens on the 24th at the Council on Aging Center, the Community Center. And also we serve 100 seniors that day. And they will also get a full catered meal and gift bags again this year. There'll be centerpieces to give away and other little items and little surprises, but they seem to like it very much. They did last year, and we're doing it again, so I hope it comes off as well as it did before. The other thing is that we have, for many years, sponsored and held the Thanksgiving breakfast at the middle school on Thanksgiving morning, and we're able to give all of the net proceeds from that event to the Littleton Scholarship Trust. And so we're very happy about that. We have raffles and things and some very cool things that people can kind of bid on and raise a little bit more money for that. So that's it.
What time's the breakfast?
The breakfast, 6:30 to 10.
6:30 to 10, Thanksgiving.
Scrambled eggs, ham this year,
Turkey.
and
Pancakes.
and pancakes, and coffee and juice, that kind of thing, and some really kind of lame entertainment. So
Slow down. Don't sell it too hard.
so are there any questions or any
Great stuff.
issues? Okay.
Appreciate all
All right.
that.
Great
Thank
events
you so
all
Appreciate
much.
all the work that you do.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alan.
That's the motion for the,
No.
not yet.
All right, public hearings, can we, yep, 7:01. Can somebody read us in?
Right, we have a public hearing notice The Littleton Select Board will conduct a public hearing on Monday, November 17th, 2025, at 7 p.m. in Littleton Town Offices, Room 103, 37 Shattuck Street, Littleton, Massachusetts, to act on the request for approval of a change of manager under Mass General Law, Chapter 138, Section 15, submitted by Energy North Incorporated, 256 Air Road, Littleton, Massachusetts. Days of operation, Monday through Saturday, 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. Alcohol sales, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Sunday, 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. Alcohol sales, 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. A copy of the application may be seen at the Select Board Town Administrator's Office, Room 306, 37 Shattuck Street, Littleton, Massachusetts. Comments thereon may be submitted in writing to the Select Board at littletonmass.org or to the Select Board Town Administrator's Office, 37 Shattuck Street, Littleton, Mass. 01460, by noon on Wednesday, November 12th, 2025, or in person at the hearing, which we have today.
Thank you. Is anyone here from Energy North?
Up there?
Yeah, please. You could introduce yourself?
My name's Ivy Hudson, District Manager for Energy North, and overseeing that wonderful not open location right now.
All right, thanks. You will be the new manager, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I didn't have any questions. Did anybody?
Everything seems to be in order.
Yep, everything, packet, good, everything's.
When will you be reopening? Is it just, you're waiting for the rebuild? You're closed until it's rebuilt? That's the plan?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's empty, I've been
Yeah,
by.
it's empty. I think we're just waiting for it. It's still standing. Last time I drove by it, we're waiting to.
Okay.
Okay. Any public comment? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to close the hearing?
Second?
Moved by Gary, seconded by Matthew.
Chuck's
Chuck.
aye.
Gary.
Aye.
Matthew.
Aye.
Aye.
Karen's an aye as well.
Okay. I will
So
make
now
the
we
motion.
can
You
make a
good?
motion, yeah.
Okay. Excuse me?
No further deliberations, so
No,
you go
we're good.
ahead.
Move that the Select Board vote to approve the application for a change in manager for wine and malt off-premises license under Mass General Law, Chapter 138, Section 15, for Energy North, Inc., 256 Air Road, for the hours of Monday through Saturday, 5 a.m. to 11 p.m., alcohol sales 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 5 a.m. to 11 p.m., alcoholic sales 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Issuance of license is subject to ABCC approval.
Second?
Moved by Gary, seconded by Matthew. Chuck?
Chuck's aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Matthew?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Karen's an aye as well.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Look forward to the new bill.
All right. Next, we have an application from Zach's Automotive.
Okay. This is another public hearing?
Yep.
Right.
7:15.
Oh, it is, it's a little bit later, correct?
All right,
Yeah, I gotta wait for you. It's
we'll
okay.
have to wait. Yeah.
Yep, sorry.
Uh,
We're never ahead, so it's unusual.
Yeah, mark this down.
Let's see, can we move on to dirigible? Yeah, we could, right?
Yep.
All right. So we'll move on to number 5. Dirigible Brewing Company has a request for extended hours on December 31st, 2025. Does anybody have any questions or concerns?
Nope.
I could filibuster for 6 minutes.
I'll say, I noticed that they said that they would have food on the premises, which I think was a question that we had in previous years, and so that's all I can contribute to the filibuster. Anyone else? Okay.
All right. Move that the Select Board extend the hours of operation for Dirigible Brewing on December 31st, 2025 through January 1st, 2026, from 11 p.m. on Wednesday, December 31st, 2025, through 1 a.m. on Thursday, January 1st, 2026.
Second?
Moved by Gary, seconded by Matthew. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Tree lighting ceremony?
Sure. We kind of already had the discussion.
Yeah, we had our discussion, so we could move straight to a vote.
I'll talk a little slower this time. Move that the select board vote to approve the use of the common for the annual tree lighting ceremony on Sunday, December, what is the date of that?
7th?
December 7th, 2025 at 4 PM.
Dark.
Well, you felt, I guess I could read that. I was X'd out on mine.
Second. I
Moved
didn't
by
realize it
Gary.
was over.
Moved by Gary, seconded by Matthew. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you to Rotary. Next two things aren't quite as quick.
Calendar.
You can do the minutes.
We could do the minutes, we could do the application for the common by Barbara Ward. Yeah, let's do that. D, 6D. Did anybody have any questions on that application for use of the common? It's for a standout.
I did have a couple of, I had raised the question last time that we limit that southwest corner, the Veterans Corner. And I've had a preliminary conversation with Steve, just to see if, it's mostly to ask his opinion of if we put something up there to kind of delineate, how much of an inconvenience would it be, rather than going down that road and having it be,
Right.
just to kind of get a first blush from him. And he said, pretty much whatever we tell him to do kind of thing,
Okay.
I did kind of do a screenshot of a Google's map. And essentially, there's a we were standing right on it on Veterans Day. There's a paved path that kind of delineates from Stephen Street over to King Street. And I think everything southwest of that, I don't know how it would coordinate off for this particular event, but that was what I envisioned as trying to just hold that area in reverence and just don't want to have people traipsing through it.
I think it's a good idea. I think we should discuss it. I think it would require a separate vote if we wanted to change something on the common, like physically.
Oh, yeah,
So-
but for this approval, we could put limits in, right?
Can we ask them to
Be cognizant of,
cognizant of it?
for now, until we can meet as a,
Yeah.
yeah.
Would that be satisfactory?
Oh, yeah, I'm just continuing to beat the drum.
Yeah.
So it came up, so it was just another opportunity for us to have a conversation.
Okay.
I think if we could do that,
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
And this would
reasonable.
have to become part of our common use policy, where anything west of the small wrought iron fence that we're gonna put in, or something, whatever we put
Yeah.
in there, we can say. And it's a very small portion, it's just that small corner.
the point,
So it's, I don't think it's usually affected by this, but it could, depending on the size of the crowds, but,
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
I don't have any problem with putting that request in on their permit request.
Right now, it's more just be cognizant of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like with the stakes, right? Yeah. Okay, I'll take a motion.
Right. Move that the select board vote to approve the use of the lower Littleton Common for a pro-democracy standout on November 22nd, 2025, from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m.
Second.
Moved by Gary, seconded by Matthew. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
5 more minutes.
What about the,
This is great.
We do the
Schedule
schedule, or
for
we
the
can do
year?
the minutes.
Could do minutes, but
Yeah, let's do minutes.
it takes a second.
I found a few typos.
I found a couple things as well. You go ahead and get started.
Under public input section, Mark is designated as Mark Rombovcher.
Oh, yeah.
well, that's, some people call him that.
That's wrong.
There's an extra V in his name. Yeah, that's wrong.
The Swedish.
Under 6C, under the comprehensive configuration discussion, there's a sentence near the end of the second paragraph where it says that Chuck and Mark agreed with Mark. And I think that they meant Chuck and Matthew agreed with Mark. Because I know Mark agrees with himself all the time.
Not normally.
Yeah, that was.
I'm very conflicted on that.
I can find it here. Hold on, I'm looking.
Yeah, it's the second paragraph in
Yeah.
C, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember saying I agree with Mark in
Yeah.
that section, so I think
Yeah.
that's.
That's how I remember it
And
too.
then the last one I have is, I just don't understand the first sentence under the town administrator update. Jim said the call-in center SIS being utilized again for class and comp with questions on discrepancies reported. They're all words, and they're all there in that sentence. And yet,
What did I say?
I don't know what you
It was
said.
like ChatGPT said something.
Yeah.
Jim said the call-in center SIS, it probably is being
Is.
utilized
Is.
again. Oh, the call-in center. It's COLLINS. Okay. Okay, that needs to be, that needs to be fixed.
Yep.
The call-in
Yeah.
center is being utilized for class and
Yeah.
comp, and
Definitely
the is
ChatGPT.
is misspelled as well. Okay,
Okay,
those are the three I found.
thank you.
Alright, I had a few, sure. So under, member updates, I'm not in there, but I did give some updates,
Whoops.
so I would like those added, please. And I can list those out. It was condolences for Sergeant Bussiere. Thanks to those who attended town meeting. And that was it. We don't need to go into the details of who I thanked, I don't think. And then I had the same question about Chuck and Mark's comments. Possible purchase of extra chairs. Oh, yeah, so, under D, 6D, it says, I think, when we're talking about extra chairs and having the tech build a shed, that's attributed to me, but that was you, Jim, that brought that up, so we just need to change that attribution. The shuttle, the suggestion to have a shuttle from Shattuck Street was a suggestion to have a continuous shuttle, just in case anyone's trying to see when we start, whether we had shuttle service that night. And I thought Matthew's comments were not in there either, and he had suggested reviewing the check-in logistics regarding, to see if there were opportunities to shorten lines.
That was me, that was.
That was
That was
Gary.
you,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Sorry. That
I may
was-
have agreed with you, but I think you did say that first.
That's all I had.
So, okay, Gary made those suggestions, and Matthew agreed with Gary. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I had one, and I'm not really sure how to address it. Under 2B, when we were talking about the senior center, the bond was presented, it was said, that reads, total project authorizations were 13.5 million, final project cost was just over 12. The numbers are kind of correct, but they're also kind of wrong. The total project bonding authorization was 13.5, and what we're bonding is 12 million. But the project cost was higher than that because it was offset by the stabilization fund. So what was presented to us was the bonding cost. So we either need to put bonding in those words or put in the 12 million what the real cost was, or somehow adjust it. And I know this is exactly what was discussed, right? But the way it's worded is actually, if people were to read this, they'd think the senior center cost $12 million, and it did not. Good point.
So did we, when we were in the meeting, did we say project cost?
I'm not sure exactly what we
Okay,
said.
all right.
But what is actually was being discussed was the
bond.
bonded
It was
project
absolutely the bond
cost.
discussion.
So it just needs to be clarified, and I don't, one way or
Can you put a lot in minutes, like, this is what we said, but we know it's wrong after reviewing it?
Yeah.
I'm serious, like, if we said project cost and it wasn't project cost, but I would assume that the legal notice that I read would have been vetted by town council and must have been correct.
It's total bond project costs,
Yeah.
Okay,
or total
anyway.
project bond costs.
So that's just where
Okay.
Maybe we should approve these next, when
Yeah,
we see them come back.
if we could have those come back, I think, we can review them again once they're amended.
Can I just add with the, Gary looking for the reconfiguration of the check-in? I threw a couple of things out there,
Yeah.
and one of them was coming down the hallway and using that side entrance.
Yeah, that's
Just
right.
because there's so much of a bottleneck
Mm-hmm.
right under the bleachers there where we have the table set up. Basically, everybody goes to those first 2 or 3 people, right?
Right.
So just some sort of a rework.
And we are talking a once every 5-year perfect storm, right? But
Right.
it is important that we,
But next May might be a good way to,
No,
if
you're
there's
right.
nothing big on it, it might
Just
be a
to
good
see
way
how
to.
it-
See how it works
creep,
out.
Crawl, walk, run.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Okay. Thank you.
Now,
Now,
Hey, do we want to improve the other minutes, the October 28th minutes?
Oh,
We're
yeah, we can
probably
approve
fine.
those. Yeah, that's just the
anything
FinCom.
Oh,
It would
yeah.
just be a recommendations.
yeah, I didn't have any questions on
No.
those. Does anybody have questions on October 28 minutes?
Nope.
All right, let's hear it.
move that the select board approve the minutes of October 28th, 2025.
Second.
Moved by Gary, seconded by Matthew. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Need a motion to open the hearing? Right. Move that we open the public hearing.
Second.
Moved by Gary, seconded by Matthew. Chuck?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Matthew?
Aye.
Mark?
Hi.
Karen? Aye.
The Littleton Select Board will conduct a public hearing on Monday, November 17th, 2025, at 7:15 PM in Littleton Town Offices, Room 103, 12 Shattuck Street, Littleton, Massachusetts, to act on the request of Brian Zakim of Zach's Automotive for a Class 2 license to buy, sell, and exchange used motor vehicles at 2 Harvard Road, Littleton, Massachusetts, 01460. And comments thereon may be submitted in writing to the Select Board at littletonmass.org or to the Select Board Town Administrator's Office, 37 Shattuck Street, Littleton, Massachusetts, 01460, by noon on Wednesday, November 12th, or in person at this hearing. Signed, Littleton Select Board, Karen Morrison, Chair.
Okay. Yeah. Come on up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Brian Zackham for Zach's Automotive.
Great.
Um,
Can you tell us a little bit about your application, what your plans are?
Yeah, so I'm the new owner of, well, formerly Miller Automotive, Harvard Road. Just carrying on existing licenses. The dealer license or the used car dealer license, not transferable. So just have to apply under my name or the new business name, just to continue buying, selling, used cars legally, obviously. So, yeah.
Legally's good. We like
yeah,
legally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just one of the licenses, just to apply for under the new business name.
Okay. Thank you. Any
So it's
questions?
nothing different than Wayne's been doing there for
No,
the
no,
past
no,
50
yeah.
years.
It's a specific license, so you can't really do anything besides that
Right.
with it, yeah.
Well, thank you for continuing to operate a business in Littleton.
Yeah.
Continue it
I
on.
said
Thank you.
Wayne's, Brad.
Appreciate it. Any questions?
I have a weird one, and it may not be, I'm not a lawyer, but can you be the chairman of the board and the president and the treasurer of a corporation?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I don't know why I thought you couldn't, but someone told me you couldn't. Okay, no objection.
There's a second business that I'm the chairman and,
Okay,
so
fair enough.
I guess that,
I hope you pay yourself a good salary.
I take the big hit, but yeah.
All right.
All right. Any comments from the public? Okay, hearing none.
John Q.
Oh, we have to close the
John Q
hearing.
Public, right.
Yep, move to close the,
Yeah.
close the public hearing.
Second?
Moved by Gary, seconded by Matthew. Chuck? Gary?
Aye.
Matthew?
Aye.
Mark? And Karen? Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
A motion?
Is there any deliberation? No? All right. Yes, please.
Move that the Select Board vote to approve the application for a Class 2 auto dealer license for Zach's Automotive located at 2 Harvard Road, 1 Littleton, Massachusetts.
Second?
Moved by Gary, seconded by Matthew. Mark?
Hi.
Matthew?
Aye.
Gary?
Aye.
Chuck?
Aye.
And Karen's aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to talk any more about what you're doing? I see you have you're open Sundays now, and
Well, yeah, I'm trying to
Free
extend.
press.
Yeah.
You guys
Well,
together.
Well, gas is open now Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 7 to 7. trying to extend the repair and inspections to Friday, full day, and a half day on Saturday. Just been struggling with the help. The guys already were working there already on full time. So some like the hours that, they want to change, so I just have to find a couple extra technicians, inspectors, to fill that extra day and a half. But no, the gas now is officially, or has been 2 weeks now, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Fantastic.
Just to,
That's great.
get back to, the weekend commuters and then, just whatever I could change or, improve upon, just to, help, the locals, because the weekends are, I have other businesses in same concept, and I open them Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just because some people work Monday to Friday, and the Saturdays are the only days that they can come in and kind of get that service done, or even like fuel up, so. But, just doing a little bit of improvement, nothing drastic, but the help is definitely the challenge, so.
Yeah.
Just finding the people.
Congratulations
Well,
and
thank
good
you.
luck.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
thank
Wish
you.
you best of luck.
Thank you. I do owe a check. I don't know who to make it out to, or make it out here and hand it to.
Don't make it out there.
2 Gs, 2 Gs.
I'll write it down.
Let's see, let's go in that direction.
Need a pen?
I got one. Need a desk, but I'll be back there.
You can walk out with us, right?
Do we need do we need to make a copy of it or anything? No?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
You want to talk?
Yeah.
Shipping back, yeah.
Yep, it's both licenses. Energy North and this one.
When I read it, I thought it was house. I didn't know.
Brad's been doing that. Change that.
All right, here we go. Thank you. This is a different one.
This one.
All right, should we talk about the town meeting schedule?
Sure.
Take it away, Jim.
Okay. Well, we met with Diane, Tony, Lisa and myself met with Tony, met with Diane Corey, and we sat down based upon the requirements outlined with the necessary days. We present to you, God bless you, we present to you the timeline, the draft of the timeline as we move forward up to the election on May 9th. And that is done in standard practice as you've done, as years prior.
I'm gonna, if I could stay right up
Yeah.
front, I'm actually the worst timing, and I apologize for a vacation that I'm taking the last week of January, so that's literally the toughest part for the finance meetings, but it's,
Family first.
so we have, all the work, so to speak, will be done up to that point, but I just want to let you know I won't be here.
Okay. You'll be missed.
You'll miss Super Saturday?
What was the date of it?
It's the 31st?
I think so, yeah.
Bummer.
So we have the finance committee, So it's all on you guys. It's your fault if anything goes wrong for the next year. Just wanted to put that out there.
Okay.
No pressure, but do you want us to look into hybrid, whether you could attend remotely?
It's on vacation.
Yeah, it's gonna be tricky. I'm gonna be in St. Lucia, so. So,
As one does,
yeah.
right? Okay. I just had a question. Is where it says the town meeting report mailed to all occupied dwellings on April 21st, is it like, as in mailed, as in they're there at that point? Or, because we deliver them to the post office on the 15th. So do we think it's gonna take them 6 days to process and put them in the mail, or do we think it takes 6 days to get them delivered? I was just curious.
6 days, basically, to be delivered.
They're
Yeah.
guaranteed, the post office guarantees, air quotes, that it'll be delivered by that date.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's our, looks like he might have something.
When you have a moment, if I could ask a question or two
Sure.
now.
Yeah.
So the first item says voter petition zoning articles.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Rob Reynolds, 25 Juniper Road. The first item identifies zoning articles, and I'm thinking that this meeting is open to citizen petition or voter, submitted all types of articles, not just zoning.
So there's a different deadline for non-zoning articles for citizen petitions.
So is it listed on the schedule?
Yes, it says citizens petition deadline is March 23rd. It's about 4 lines down from the zoning one.
Okay,
Which-
thank you. And a different question with regard to, it's down a few items, it indicates that can departments submit articles to the select board directly as opposed to a multi-member group? Just curious.
Departments, no.
Okay, I thought I saw it listed there, but I already made a mistake, so it's possible. It's on listing.
Yeah, no, they are listed.
Where?
Boards, committees, commissions, and departments to submit articles in draft form.
Okay, so they can,
the select
like,
board's
the school
office.
committee submitted the article for the building of Shaker Lane.
But wouldn't that be a multi-member body?
But it is a committee.
It's a committee, but not a department.
Yeah.
I think the question is
The question
about
is
departments.
specific to a
Specific, no.
department. I was thinking that,
That's
and I'm asking from a charter perspective because I'm looking for some language to be clarified in something that's being reviewed.
I've
So-
never known of a department to have the ability to submit an article.
That was my take as well, but I read it here and was surprised, and hence I'm trying to get it clarified, whether it's in a bylaw or someplace. I just want to get it right so that this charter goes, but we're doing it correctly there as well.
Interesting
That's
catch.
it.
Thank you.
That would be a select board article in that case.
Right.
Our departments.
Right, I mean, that would be a recommendation from a department, because it is a placeholder for you while you discuss it and determine whether you want to put it forward under
Oh,
the
that makes
select
sense.
board.
Okay.
That makes sense. Okay.
Does that answer your question, Rob?
It does, and I'll try to get it through the charter review thing with that specific,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a step one, step two. I'm not certain that it needs to be listed on your form if in fact, but that's up to you folks.
Okay, thank you.
So we've cleared these dates with the schools too, so they know nothing's gonna happen on May 5th and May 9th.
Well, this is, as you can see, according to the town code, those dates are, as you can see, the 24th day is 4/11 and 45th day, so it's basically sitting there with the calendar. So we'll just have to make sure that we communicate as, for certain days, such as
I only care about the May 5th date
Yeah.
and the May 9th
the
date.
Tuesday.
Those are the ones that I'm specifically, because we've had times where there's been like
A soccer.
Conflict.
Or something, or.
the high school schedules a band concert or something on those
Right.
dates. We just need to clear that those dates are,
You want the 5th and the 9th, or just the 5th?
the 5th has to be cleared.
Correct.
The 9th they have to be aware of, right?
Fair enough. Okay,
Okay.
thank you for that directive.
Okay. Take a motion?
Motion to approve the May 5th, 2026 annual town meeting.
Second?
Moved by Gary, seconded by Matthew. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Approval of the proposed January-June Select Board meeting schedule.
Can I just say, I was really sad that I didn't have any vacation scheduled to knock out any of these dates yet.
Still time.
So I was going to note that the 21st, April 21st is over Littleton School's spring break. I don't know whether I'll be here or not, but just FYI.
We got you.
And, yeah.
Will you be back by then, Gavin?
No, I might go for 3 months, I haven't
I
decided.
figured as much.
We'll see.
And then I guess my only question was regarding the Tuesday joint meetings. We had talked about
Correct.
moving those to Wednesdays.
They are gonna be moved to Wednesday because of Lisa's absence. I would like Lisa to follow up on this, please.
Okay,
She will make the correction.
okay, so should we wait to vote on it?
Please do that.
Okay.
Thank
all
you
right,
for continuing it.
All right. We'll
So
take that up.
The January 13th, 20th, and 27th are going to be moved to the Wednesdays?
Yes, the
Yes.
Tuesday, yes.
Okay.
And there is also gonna be a Wednesday put in there for a joint meeting for input.
Yes,
Yes.
right.
Which one?
Which, yeah, why don't you talk a little bit about that?
So it's something that I know there has been concern that has been expressed in giving the public an opportunity, a platform at some point to weigh in on having the finance committee and the select board and the school committee, if it's the wish of the select board to offer their suggestions, recommendations, because the budget will be done by the end of December in a draft form, and it will be in the final form in January. But there is that opportunity during the meetings for the select board and everyone to receive input. It's not gonna be a question and answer. I'm not gonna bring all the department heads there, but it's something that if someone expresses, thank you, we should, potentially look at increasing the line item for something in the COA or the fire department or whatever the case is, for XYZ. Thank you for your input, and that's documented, and we'll continue to, if that is something that collectively you would like to do, then we will have to try and find it somewhere. The correction.
So the idea would be to do that after the Super Saturday or before?
Before.
I'm trying to figure out what you're talking
This,
about.
this is for department heads to come in,
Nope.
or not a department head?
No department heads.
Public.
It's just an input. Give us your input on the draft budget.
I got
It's
you.
not a matter of sitting here and saying, well, how come you want this truck at this
And not the
time?
dog park.
It's not a back and forth to have all the department heads there.
Gotcha.
It's a receiving, please, consider increasing this line by this much.
And that won't be decided till Super Saturday, because that's when we actually weigh all of those things
Right.
at once together.
Correct.
So the timing here is, the idea is that the public has a chance to give their input before things are really set in stone and difficult to undo.
Exactly, because you will be getting, not only, the draft budget will be balanced, but
Right.
again, it's in the draft form.
Yep.
And then, if that is the wish of the board, then it will be however you want to do it.
So if it's gonna be a Wednesday meeting after the budget is finished and before Super Saturday? After the budget is drafted and before Super Saturday?
Yes, sir.
So it's gonna have to be on the 7th of January, because every other Wednesday has a joint meeting with the FinCom.
Okay.
Okay.
And this is also gonna be, FinCom is also going to be inclusive of the meeting also. If you would like the school committee, I'll make that recommendation to the superintendent, however you would like.
Alternatively, you push Super Saturday back a week
Yeah, we could, that's true. We
and
could do
put it in there, right?
Not be there.
That might actually be a better solution, is to put that in
Yeah,
that on Saturday.
on this,
and that puts
no,
Gary.
move Super Saturday back from the 31st
To the
to
7th of February.
the 7th, and then have the joint meeting on
The 4th.
the 4th.
The
Okay,
4th.
yeah. we
And
can
that
do
gets Gary into Super Saturday,
Yep.
so that's great.
And it motivates us to get out of there because that'll be like conference championships for football.
So that, okay, so that's another, I know that there was discussion at last Super Saturday in regards to, because of the duration. I don't know if that is something that, and I know that there were some remarks that were thrown out there, and do we have it over multiple Saturdays? Or do you want to have it on one? We're gonna recommend, in order to, keeping it within, let's say, a 9 to 2 range, we would have just really basically the big 3 or 4 that day. And you got police, fire, DPW, and schools. And who were the smaller ones that were there? I think cemeteries, EHS, planning, that were on Saturdays, they will be moved to another time.
Or the date, like,
One of the
Correct,
Wednesdays.
one of the other days. So if that's okay, then we'll just keep it 9 to 2, and we'll have the necessary refreshments brought in for breakfast, and then so we figured we'd go 9 to 12 with department heads, and then break for lunch, and then have the discussion, and then hopefully leave by 2.
Yeah,
I think it's optimistic, but we'll see what the budget looks like. But
yeah, I mean, if there's a lot of work being done on the front of this time, a little bit more, it seems like, but I know when we're talking deficits, and there's gonna be a lot of pressures every year for this money, so I don't know how, we had a lot of discussion last year.
yeah, we did.
There was a lot of budget items but
There won't be any discussion this year, I guarantee.
so,
Am I not invited?
no, I mean, the thing, we're all part of this all the way up to this point.
Right.
So I think we're going to have a good idea of what those hot items are that we need to resolve on Saturday after. There's no surprises coming out of Saturday.
No.
Or even the month of January. We already know by that point. It's just a matter of,
You'll definitely know by the end of December
yeah.
of where everything
Yeah.
falls to get a balanced budget.
But, if we have fewer presentations on Super Saturday, that's a
Always
step
better.
in the right direction, I think. Okay. So we'll table that.
Thank you.
We'll bring it back at the next meeting.
So before we leave the whole budget discussion, we talked about actually when FinCom goes and starts meeting with department heads, that we would go
Have a seat at the table.
and start as well. I assume they're gonna start meeting in December, so we should probably get their schedule and at our next meeting, figure out who wants to piggyback on which ones.
Okay. I'll talk to
And that
Steve.
hopefully would make the whole budgeting process go smoother too.
Yeah. Agreed.
Do we need to vote on the schedule for the select board?
I think we just said we were gonna.
It's gonna be a
wait.
couple
We're gonna
days.
wait.
Oh, we're gonna wait because we don't know about this, okay.
Because we're gonna move
change
things around
the-
a little bit.
Okay.
The document.
Yeah,
right,
we have
for
time, we
Wednesdays.
have plenty of time.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. We've finished D already, so let's look at E, Town Hall configuration, initial phase.
Okay, questions? We have all the information. Practicality-wise, it offers the opportunity for the office to work better in a flow. It offers confidentiality in some respects. It offers it offers a better presentation as someone comes in, you're looking at, instead of, we're no longer a school. And we're not standing there, we're not in the principal's office, standing at the counter looking for an absentee note. a late, tardy now.
Tardy, yeah.
Yeah, and it's something that we're going to accept another individual that's going to be 3 days a week in there, which will should have dedicated office space, and to confine the four of us in that smaller area with circulation issues that go on with air circulation. There are, I think it's in the best interest of the workings within the department.
I'm sorry, what is all the information? Because there's nothing in the
We have
packet.
nothing in the packet.
You heard from last week. I apologize. There was
But there was nothing,
There was
you
the-
had something
Can you-
with you that day, but there
It
was
was
nothing.
it was the
that was given to us.
reconfiguration of your office,
correct.
Tony's office, and Lisa,
That's right.
and this change of the conference room. There was a diagram in the last meeting's packet
That's
that
right.
had that change, or,
That's right. I am
There was
sorry.
something that he handed out.
It was a handout.
oh, it was a
HR.
handout? Okay.
And HR, right?
That's
And
right.
HR, right.
And accounting.
So,
See if
But
I
the
have
accounting
one.
was being moved to the second floor of the library that we weren't currently doing. So I'm not sure what all we're talking about doing now, because there's literally nothing in the packet to look at. So I understand HR was moving across the hall, but I don't know where accounting's moving.
Can you walk us through it?
one of the key things, a couple of key things that were acting on simultaneously was a tremendous level of, there was confidential issues, HIPAA issues, personnel issues. Nothing was confidential in the sense there wasn't a confidential office space.
For Michelle.
I'm sorry?
For Michelle.
HR especially.
From HR or down, so simultaneously, the messages were, I was recognizing those issues. So I engaged the team on both with the HR and engaged with accounting, because I thought it'd be in the best interest for finance to be all in the same level. I understand it's only one floor away from each other, but typically it runs smoother if it's on one level. There was also, and there were issues in regards to moving HR where it currently is, moving it across the hall in a turnkey situation as is, and putting them where accounting is. Accounting would go down to the second floor temporarily and be part of the team that was proposed to be moved up to the second floor. And with that,
Wait, you just said down to the second floor and then moved up to the second floor.
because the team on the first floor, I apologize, thank you. The team that was proposed recently of moving from down on the first floor, lands and buildings, to move them up onto the second floor in a
Of the
vacated
old
space.
library. Okay.
Yes, sir. And with that, and clear message from the select board, that will be presented at a Super Saturday because of the cost that we received the bids on. There was still the request of, and the camaraderie and the support for each other of accounting moving down temporarily in the old EHS area, and logistically, that has been worked out with IT, with facilities just on paper at this point, and allowing HR to move across the hall. And part of the so now that leaves the vacant HR, but we had to be able to absorb Diane, because Diane cannot go where HR is, because it's confidential, you can hear right through the walls. So that is going to be a secure, locked area that's abutting the HR director's office, the future HR director's office, which is currently the town accountant's office. And it was proposed that, okay, if Diane is has to move across the hall, she can move into what is now the conference room in the office, and propose that my office, Tony would move to where I am, I would go where HR is, and that wall is just, it's not a load-bearing wall, it's nothing, and it provides an opportunity of, as people come in, Lisa is straight ahead, there is no counter there or anything. It opens up for air circulation, because currently, right now, it's difficult air circulation. You close the office door, and it's not fun. It's uncomfortable. So it's and my question to the team was, and this is involving everyone. There's a lot of people involved here, because I wanted to get the input from the employees and let them have some opinion on the decision, on what's in the best interest. Where is the most reasonable place in order to move? Because there are a lot of, as you read from your memos that was in your packet, a lot of the challenges that the employees were facing. I know that we're going to be here for at least 5, 6, for many years to come. There are certain challenges in the lands and buildings with mechanicals, and there is, and there's also, I believe, there's some architectural access challenges there also. So what's being proposed is that, okay, in order to reconfigure the administration, that's when that work would be done in-house. That was not part of the bid package or anything like that. It's really basically taking down non-load bearing walls, opening up a door, and that would go from where Lisa would be ultimately positioned,
Horizontally with the hallway.
with her back to the windows of where it is, and my office would be to the left of her, Tony's would be to the right of her, Diane would be the old conference room, and there'd be a welcoming, receptive area for people walking in looking for help, guidance, anything like that. So the initial phase, in order to expedite having HR move and start, because they have their 3 people there, and now there's some space that they need to address there. There is a lack of space there, and a lack of space of confidential issues. So that's where we are at this point. And it's something that I would respectfully request that we can move forward with that first phase, while the second phase is discussed in better detail at Super Saturday.
So accounting would move to the old EHS space?
Yes, sir, on a temporary basis.
HR would move across to take over accountings.
Correct.
And then the town administrators section would be your current space plus
HR space.
plus HR.
Yes, sir.
Is that the gist of it?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'm disappointed there's nothing supporting this. There was nothing supporting this change that you're proposing to blow out HR and make a bigger office for the town administrator's office.
Okay.
The fact that we don't have anything tonight is, again, disappointing to me. I think that I'm aggravated. I mean, it's something that was not before us. It was never mentioned to us until last week. We had at our last meeting, we got a handout of something that was sketched up. I don't know if it was by you or by Eric or who sketched it up. And we discussed it to some extent. I was aggravated, you got aggravated. I don't feel like we're any further along, Jim. I don't feel like there's, air circulation can be treated a number of different ways. We eliminated room 307, which is where HR is now. That was a conference room, all set up with LCTV with cameras and everything so that we could do smaller meetings in there. We created a conference room in the town administrator's office for meetings and to be more welcoming. I does the footprint need to change? I mean, Lisa's in a spot that has worked for whatever, 6, 8 years, whatever it's been. I don't know, I just think, I appreciate you laying it all out to us. I still want to see some design. I also want to see what the actual soft costs are going to be. I want to see, I just want to see how it's going to impact everything. And I mean, there's the HVAC, location of the HVAC with this plan, unless you can tell me otherwise, is going to be the same. It's going to be the same circulation, whether it's blowing, I don't even know where it blows right now. Maybe it's in Tony's office and it doesn't get to your office if you close the door. I don't know how that all plays out, because that whole space where Tony's office was before we had an assistant town administrator, that whole front area was wide open to the windows. I'm not saying that was right or wrong. We needed to put.
I knew HR was new, so we had to create that.
Not even HR, it was before that, when we hired the first assistant town administrator, we put a wall up in order to create an office for
That's right.
for that seat, if you will. And that's the one that's right, if you come in the door to the town administrator's office, that's the wall that you run into right away where the swinging door is. That office was created, it wasn't there before. I don't see this as a big priority. I'd love to have conversations with the team, as you call it. I'm not sure what you're referencing when you say there are architectural challenges there also. I don't know where there is. I don't know if you're talking about over at the old library space or.
I'm talking about current lands and buildings. In order for access there, someone has to be notified that there is someone outside the door. They have to, that there's no button over there,
microphone
like
assist.
right here. Someone's in a wheelchair. So there is.
Well, that is accessible. That is handicap accessible.
The door is, but is there a button over there? No.
I haven't been there in a bit.
So the solution that the library always used was the accessibility came in through the elevator. So that was,
And that, you brought that up at the last meeting,
that was the accessibility for the library, was through the elevator.
and it worked for a while.
Through the elevator.
Through the elevator over there, you would come to the
Opens both
elevator,
ways.
the doors open on both sides, you come in,
Makeshift, though.
you come to the first floor, second floor, third floor, through the elevator.
Right, okay.
I don't know, I mean, yeah, you guys were at the last meeting, I can give you, I watched the meeting and then got spun up on this stuff, so I kind of know where I kind of stand on, on this, but.
You want to go first?
Yeah, I think it's fine that we made changes before. That doesn't mean that is how things need to be now. I think we have a new team in place in the administrator's office. I think we have some new personnel since things were last reconfigured. In terms of costs or soft costs, signage I've identified as something that would have to be updated. But other than that, I think furniture stays as is, correct?
It does.
So, to me, this is one of those opportunities where the select board can let go a little bit and let the town administrator do what is best for the team as it exists today and as it's anticipated to exist in the near future for, our life in the building. So I just don't think that this is something that we need to be getting into the weeds of as a body.
100% agree. If we're not spending money, even if it's lost opportunity cost for Eric, to me, I think the comfort and, security and efficiency of the town hall employees is what you should be concerned about, and we should be concerned about, and I don't think that we are in a position to micromanage your move. So I agree with Karen.
So, I'll say that I was ready to support this when I heard about it, but the fact that we don't actually have diagrams and what's going on, like, I'm still not sure exactly where you're, I don't know how much space we're moving HR into. I don't know how much space we're moving the town accountant into, or where, or how much space they need. So I think a little, and I also don't know, you know, we're giving up the town administrator's conference room with, and with no gain, you know, there's just a loss of a meeting room. So you can, if you can justify that that meeting room is no longer needed or something, right, there just needs to be a little more information, in my opinion, to make this. I mean, I don't understand who's moving where, how much space they're taking, right? Like, just a little more into this and go a long way.
It's all, to me, believe me, I absolutely do not want to be involved in the weeds on the day-to-day operation of the building. You know, as the executive board that oversees the town hall, I'm more interested in efficiency and safety of the employees and access. If you have those three things, how you put it together, and also security. I always forget that my wife would beat me if I didn't mention security. No, but so that part of it, and when I say security, I mean, you're right, the HR office, when you sit there with talk with Michelle about something personal, I don't think the wall reaches the ceiling.
Doesn't.
Right. So not only can the rest of the HR office hear, but anyone that walks in there for business can hear everything you're talking about. So that absolutely makes sense to get HR in a better position or a better situation. But also any conversations that we have to have with you or Tony need to be in a private space. And that, if we have to go out and get a hold of white noise, I mean, I've dealt with these my whole life, or music. Yeah. I don't know what the system is in this building. Is there a system that you can have, an intercom system where you can have soft music playing? I don't know. It does wonders. Even just a little bit of music. You can have fun with that too. You know, whatever. People pick their days and what they want to listen to. But white noise for sure. But I mean, all that being said, like I said, even that I'm getting down into the weeds of stuff I don't want to get into. So this really comes down to about cost and how much do we want to jump. Oh, okay, town spoke in May. Mm-hmm. Okay, this building is staying here. We can call it 5 years. We can call it 10 years. Whatever that is. So eventually, I know in the back of my brain, this is going to have to get remodeled or repurposed up to that. What are we allowed to do? 10% of the building?
25.
25? Okay. We're probably going to have to hit
Building
that.
value.
There's going to be a big cost to this if we want to get this right somewhere down the line. If you want to really look at this, okay, what's our 10-year plan? We're going to have to put in X hundreds of thousands of dollars into this building if we're going to keep it, as opposed to spending 18 million or 20 million on another building. So I like, what I saw. I do like the way that the office is being configured, your space, and I want you to have what you're comfortable with your space and where you want your personnel. I think it's inefficient, certainly, to have Diane across the hall. It's disconnected. It's disjointed. I guess my thing would be more of just show us. It sounds like everything. Show us how it layout, what you're envisioning, even the temporary space down at the senior, where the senior center was, just so that we can visually see it and we can tell people and we can get more on board with it. I think your concerns, Chuck, were more based on cost. It's obviously what has to come in front of the board.
I don't think any one of us is not looking to listen to the employees or just wants to put an employee in a bad situation. We all listen to the employees. We all are reachable and concerned. None of us want to get into the weeds.
Right.
I'm not going to get into that. I just know that on November 3rd, we had a packet which had everything that we thought we prepared for and we were going to discuss. And then we got the handout. which I have no idea why that all of a sudden came up and why it was put in front of us. To me, Jim, I'll be perfectly honest with you, this is more like a land grab by you to grab that office up and make a bigger office for the town administrator's office. That's how I see it.
Okay, then let's stay it as is.
I'm not saying that either. I'm just, I want to see a presentation. I don't want to be handed a sketch
Well,
that's piggybacking on something else that was already on the agenda.
no, because it was part of the project, it was part of the bigger project, and I did not want to include any reconfiguration from the administration suite included with already, which was going to be a six-figure construction project by moving lands, the proposed moving lands and buildings up. So, trying to recognize that and peeling that part off, because as I had said to the team, I said, where is what you're proposing for the administrator, where that? And the team turned around and said, well, to help cut costs, because we know it's gonna be, we can do this in-house. Those are not load-bearing walls. The counter can come out and you can push it over, and that comes out. We can cut a hole there, and that's your door between the offices. And so that's why it wasn't included in the larger packet. Hence, you got, and I'm sorry if you feel slighted that it was presented in a shoddy way, but or for a land grab, but that is not it at all whatsoever. It is, the goal here is to get HR, the confidential space, move them down. Then if you want, we'll still move them down. Diane can come across the hall, and that room can remain vacant. We'll keep it like that.
So can I'd kind of like to also, I know there's talk of moving the land use department, right? But we still end up with a lot of vacant space potentially in the buildings. It would be nice to kind of know what the end goal is, right, for the space, and what the vision is, right? Even if land use moves to the second floor, we basically have a vacant first and third floor. Is that the intent, right? I'm not asking for an answer now, but we kind of need to know that. And to Gary's point, like, I'd be a little concerned about moving accountant to the old EHS part, because they would be the only department in an entirely vacant building on that side, right? Which also means that we can't shut down that side of the building, but they're the only ones there. So it's just the things to understand, and I understand that it's a temporary thing, but then we have to also define what temporary means, right? So
Right, exactly.
All I'm asking for is a little more comprehensive of a plan that we can say, if Super Saturday goes well, this is what the plan is. If it's not, this is what the plan is. This is, what we would envision.
Like a 2-year plan? Like
Yeah.
this, to me, it's like a 2-year, let's get this into our budget, some of the bigger things. What's the big vision, with this?
Well, I thought we were presented with the big
Well,
vision at the last meeting.
Well, we were presented with.
Wasn't that the big vision?
I don't know, right? That was my,
Well, I'm asking Jim.
Yes, that was the big
Okay.
vision.
All right, so what's
And
the
I think
cost
we-
associated?
Yeah, and I think we all know that we've been told that shutting down, bubble wrapping, or what do you call it? Mothballing. Mothballing, entire sections of the complex isn't feasible, right? We've been told that. So, no, we're not going to be mothballing, big sections of Shattuck Street, because we know it's not going to work. We've been told it's not going to work, so.
Well, we are picking up conference room space down that end. There's no way you're not. I mean, the senior, the EHS,
In that multi-purpose room?
there's a couple rooms in there that,
School department had a conference room.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of space, and so did an EHS had the conference room, and then they had this other conference room where they answered the phones and everything. There's space down there. So I'm not worried about the conference room stuff as much as I am about the, obviously, buy-in, certainly. It sounds like you got buy-in, and you've got your department heads spoke, and they had a say in kind of what this vision that yours looks like.
It wasn't a my vision, that's the whole thing. I'm supporting what they, because obviously there was a concern and there was, all right, and I engaged them and said, all right, how do we, Board of Health needs space for the nurse to be in close proximity of the director. We promised the
Besides
Board of Health.
closet right now with
Right.
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 I know what that.
The Board of Health is waiting patiently with an office for him in which there are HIPAA requirements that's necessary. So, I'm hearing those things. Henry has to go upstairs into the old Parks and Rec space when he wants to meet someone to lay out plans and to have a discussion. I mean, not,
Not
thank you.
Is he not using the old Kimball room that the previous building commissioner used?
All I know is that's where he goes, whether the other room is because there's no storage
So
down
it's
there.
not that he has to, he chooses to.
The Cooper room has exercise equipment in it.
No, I'm sorry, not the Cooper, the conference room, that's right inside
The-
this
you-
hallway.
That's Maureen's office.
It's all full.
So it was the commissioner, it's not Lauren. Okay.
Right, it was Ed's before, yeah, exactly.
Why don't,
He's in a cubicle.
I can't stand empty space. And we knew, the library moved out, we filled that space, and a lot of that was non-cost. I mean, a lot of, it was on our business time, so it's on the taxpayer dollars, but I know Ed Mullen and a lot of other people, Park and Rec too, put a lot of man hours into creating
Cosmetics.
those spaces.
Cosmetics.
The small things that you're talking about. With the thought that something probably was going to happen with this building. Well, we're not. So 5 to 10 year plan. You have a vision, and now it's just up to us to determine how we can plan this out over the next few years. But first, we got to get on board with the short-term stuff, which you're talking about would be in the next year, or the next 6 months, the next 3 months, 4 months.
Well, at the very least,
The low
you know what,
hanging fruit.
then forget about MySpace.
No, you're getting a
No,
negative vibe here.
Because I want to be able to, no, listen, no, and I'm not saying, and I don't mean it to come across poorly, but then my goal is to make sure HR gets their confidential space. That is the number one goal at this juncture. So let them make the move, they've got the logistics to be able to move accounting down, let them make the configuration, let them make the shift. And you know what, we'll work it out. We'll work out our
Can I ask
area.
why accounting was moved to the EHS space rather than the Park and Rec space that's vacated?
Well,
Because there's already offices over there.
yep, and I gave accounting the option. You tell me. And we also have to take in consideration, it may go south on Super Saturday. So this may be temporary, so I just want everyone to understand what's at stake here. And I believe what is going to, they could adapt either way, but I think that they could potentially be moving to the old Parks and Rec space, use Alicia's office, or maybe, and Tim's office over there, and where he and Kaz previously were maybe in that general area. That could potentially be it. But they're also looking at options of Liz's old office and those offices over there also, but they're too spread apart there. So they would go up then in Parks and Rec as a temporary basis then. But
I'm trying to remember, because I did talk to them when I was looking in their space, trying to visualize, what it would look like if HR was in there. And I can't remember why they said, but they did say that they preferred EHS. I don't know why.
I would prefer the library just for security purposes. That's just my personal take. There's no one else on that side of the building. I would really rather not have one department on that side of the building by
And
themselves.
connectivity too.
Right.
It's much easier to go back and forth.
That's
to
just
the library
my
side than it is to
personal,
the old school side.
but
no, I appreciate that concern. That's safety. That's
if
important.
they feel strongly about it, I'm not gonna sit here and bang that they should go that way, but it seems.
I think the fear is, it's one thing, I think if they knew that the time frame is finite, that'd be a different conversation. But because there's the potential that's home, that's it. So, maybe it's being looked at differently, so.
So, I would say, if anybody wants to walk through it, it's really helpful. For example, there's that small room right when you walk into accounting that you don't notice, and that creates a lockable file area for HR that they don't have right now. It's a room, they don't just lock, right now they just lock up their file cabinets in a wide open space, right? They'll have their own lockable filing room. No, there's a little room there, before there. Yeah. I just encourage anybody who is having trouble visualizing it to stop by and look around a little bit. It helped me a lot to understand that, to understand things in a way that, drawings can't.
I'm at a point, I'm not going to sit here and disagree with your plan, because I could do that all day. We could say, oh, why don't I like this here instead, or this here. I don't work here. I'm not in this building every day. Well, I don't try to be in this building every day. And you do, and everybody that works here does. So I appreciate what you're trying to do. And I'll get back to it as the policy board, and where I'm more, what is the cost of all of this? If we have some glaring thing presented to us, ADA-wise, or security, or all those things I mentioned, efficiency of access, all those things, then sure, we should all have something to say, but I cannot get down into the weeds in this, and I don't think we should until, you present this to us at the budget meeting, and we weigh it, or pieces of it, or what we think it outweighs compared to other things, recognizing that this building is here, this building's not going anywhere for the next 5 to 10 years. Just simply not, unless something really crazy happens and, a billionaire wants to put a building in for us. So that's where I'm at, and I know I'm not saying I'm disinterested, because this stuff is very important. Where people work is important. And I know what we have right now works, and that's not what we're talking about. It just works. We want to be better than that. We know what building we're working in. We're this old friggin' schoolhouse sauna.
Yeah, it's
igloo, whatever you want.
And
depending, 10 feet in either
what office
direction.
and I appreciate the perspective of the way it's configured now, the way where people are, works. Well, it works because it has to work that way. It wasn't an option.
Right.
And so when people are uncomfortable,
No, we're blessed to have the senior just vacate the building. We're blessed to have a new library with library vacated, Park and Rec vacated, schools. Okay, all right. We didn't want this necessarily, wanted this older building for this, to repurpose it, but here it is. It's a beautiful brick building by all accounts on the outside. Let's start the process of making this work for you guys. So if it's talking about taking down cubicle walls and moving space around, and everyone, I'm not going to get involved in that part of it. I just simply don't think it's, it's not in my purview to do that. So that's where I stand.
I appreciate your suggestion.
As a select board member. But I value everything that you said, but it's more of how we got to this point and the, kind of being thrown on you. It sounded like you're a little more, that's what bothered you more than anything, was it kind of got presented, the way it got presented, or not presented, and more
I just
holistic.
want a presentation and justification, so, it's.
I would also argue for thinking bigger too, right? Like half of this building is vacated, and we're talking about building people small offices so that they all can be together. There's 3 floors they can spread out on, and no one's on top of each other. So why are we packing them all into this little tiny area unless they really want to be in that little tiny area? Like, let's think bigger, it doesn't necessarily make it more expensive. We're not necessarily putting up more wall, or that many more walls, right? Let's actually think about how we want to use the whole building, not a floor of a building, because we have an awful lot of empty space that seems like a waste to heat and cool and not put people in it, so that we can put everyone in little 8x8 offices.
Have you looked at the school department at all for the town administrator's office? I'm just,
Yeah, no, good point.
Just to
No,
Mark's
good
point, I
question.
brought it up.
No, I didn't. The only time I looked at that with the team is when as Fred would call it, the aquatic center occurred. We figured that they would have to all to come back. Or Parks and Rec at least, because it really affected Parks and Rec, and so we were thinking, okay, if you guys are not gonna be moving there, how about the old school department space? I just thought, our suite being over in the school side at this point, that's got too far away, because I like to have HR next to me. Typically, I like to have the finance team also, but they're downstairs, that's fine. Could use the exercise. But I respect everyone's perspective, but,
I'll come in one day this week and one of you guys can
yeah,
give me a walkabout.
So I guess, where do we stand on, are we gonna take a vote on the no-cost part of this?
I'm in favor of the no-cost part of it, as
I'd rather
presented.
wait to look at it.
I agree with Chuck. I'd like to actually look through it and see a little more details. But I'm not opposed to it. I just like to really see what we're doing.
When do we meet again? Before Thanksgiving, right?
2026.
When did you, you probably wanted to start this next week.
I think at least, how about this? If I would respectfully request, how about at least moving, let the logistics continue to move accounting and HR? Can we at least agree to that? That is just a matter of moving offices and technical stuff and technology and everything like that. And it checks off the box for confidentiality, the big box for HR.
I'm actually okay with HR being moved. I'm just not sure where you want to move it's where you end up moving accounting to, right? That's the,
Well, it's either gonna be EHS or Parks and Rec, and I want them to be able to feel comfortable with their selection and understanding that that could be their permanent home.
How about we meet on the 24th? We can do it hybrid and only on this topic. So Jim can walk everyone through. And that'll give folks time to come back in and look around too if they want to.
I mean, it could be this Friday if you
But-
wanted. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine too, but I'm just thinking, the next meeting isn't until December 8th. And by then, we're really in the thick of budget season and there's a lot of other things going on.
I thank you very much for taking the initiative on that, Madam Chair.
So, that would be my preference, is for us to meet before December 8th, and sooner rather than later, so that we can either, stop talking about it, frankly, or, let them get on with it.
So is it possible for you, those that want to come in and kind of do the walkthrough before this Friday? You could post for this Friday.
Yeah.
You have to
This
do that
Friday.
tomorrow.
It's Monday, right? 24th? Is that what you said?
Or we could just put, since this is going to be a virtual with a one-item agenda, it can be as soon as we can get people to walk through.
Right.
And we just do a virtual.
So how much time do
What do you
folks
think?
need to
And
be
then
able to
you
come
might have
back?
objections, say, well, we think this is going to be a problem, but hopefully by then you can have talked about some of those concerns, at least we know what we're up against coming into the next one-item
I'd say
agenda.
just put it on the 24th. Just schedule the 24th, whether it's virtual in person.
Does that work?
the 24th is fine.
Okay.
It's fine with
So
me.
let's convene on the 24th.
Okay.
Let's mark it as a hybrid. And we'll,
What time would you like?
7,
Okay,
okay?
Yep.
All right.
thank you all.
Thank you.
More fun and games. Item F, Town Common Policy Discussion. Mark, this is yours.
Oh, good, thank you. So based on the feedback from the last meeting, I took the old policy and drafted this new one. It has been vetted by police, fire, DPW, and town council. The goal wasn't to vote it today, it was just more to introduce it as a potential change. There were a few items that town council added. We talked, towards the end, we said, like, if we wanted to have a number of people for you to have a permit. They said they added if an event organizer reasonably expects attendance to exceed 25, they're required to submit for a permit, and they have to give us at least 10 business days to approve a permit. Those were things that town council suggested we add. They weren't necessarily saying the 25, they just, yeah.
Are they basing that off of other communities, or?
So actually, I did a bunch of research on this
I know
afternoon.
Gary did as well, yeah.
It's all over.
And it's all over the place,
Yeah.
but usually it's either everybody needs a permit, there's a size requirement, or there's some weird one like Lexington. You need a permit if you're going to picket, speech making, marching, holding of vigils and signs, active communication or expression of opinions or grievances. Seriously, so like,
put a lot of thought
if it's a bunch of
Lexington put a
people,
lot of thought into
if
it.
it's a bunch of people hanging out, they don't need a permit. If you're organized and you're, if the world, then you need a permit.
So if the discussion turns to politics, then you
Yeah,
need to
right.
run to town hall.
So I don't know, but
They're having too much fun
I
on the
think
common.
reasonable size. I think reasonable size is as good a metric as any. I don't think we should get into if it's political,
Being
you need a
prescriptive,
permit.
yeah.
No.
And it's really because most of these events in question are, you don't know. It can be anything from anything, a plant
Sure.
sale to, what we just approved. Well, we're expecting, that's the number you're looking at. What are you expecting if we're going to talk about
Yeah,
numbers?
I think the No Kings, probably the first one they had no clue.
Right.
Now that they're doing the fourth one, I think they have a pretty good idea how many people are going to show up. Like we know how many people are going to show up for the tree lighting.
But I mean, what are you, so I don't know how many, I didn't go out and count like how many people showed up to the last one, but what would you guess?
Couple hundred.
So that's probably worthy of a permit to me.
Definitely.
Right?
Yes.
If we're gonna talk a permit, I'm not
Yeah.
even saying I'm in favor.
I think if 200 people show up on the common, I don't think it's unreasonable to ask them to pull a permit.
I don't either, but I think this is where it gets difficult in practicalities, right? There were 200 people there, my guess is total over the course of 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not.
So, does that count? Do they need a permit even though, for example, there were only, no more than hypothetically 50 people there at any given time? I'm sure there were at this point, but, so that's where I have trouble with having numbers.
What's our concern? When you water
Right.
this whole thing down, what is the concern? It's safety, right? So what do you think is, and what does that mean? Just to say safety doesn't mean anything.
Well,
Are we gonna have to assign a police officer at a certain number? What are we just saying? Just pull a permit because you got 200 people there? Well,
So, yeah, I think if.
what's that mean? Are we assigning a police officer down
If
there?
there are
for that?
300 people on the common, I think that LPD would want to know, because they probably want people there directing traffic, making sure people aren't speeding, making sure kids aren't running out of
Okay.
gas.
Just have a presence.
That's fair then.
Yeah,
Then
right.
that's,
And definitely, I think DPW is worried about people shoving stuff in the ground, which is totally valid.
that's a little separate, though, we can say if you're putting
Yeah, we can, but.
anything in the ground, but.
And so in that case, I would say that to avoid some of the concerns I have in terms of unnecessarily giving folks anxiety about correctly assessing how many people are going to be there in advance, or they're going to be in trouble, I think we should set the number fairly high so that beyond what we would normally expect a gathering to include, you know, at what point do we think we really need to devote extra resources? And that, I think, should be our number. I think it's a lot easier to know whether you're going to have 200 people than to know whether you're going to have
25, 50.
Yeah,
25,
50.
Agreed.
It's no fee for the permit, correct? You just have to file it, and what about, what did town council say about insurance?
You cannot require insurance for political gatherings. So, or general,
Okay. Well, they're getting a permit to use the space.
but the free speech aspect of it means that you can't require insurance.
So
If they're gathering for political events like,
Okay, but what, just throw out the word political.
no,
What if
no.
it's a gathering to
Free,
sing?
free speech gatherings cannot require insurance.
Right, so we could require the plant sale to have insurance, was my interpretation, but
But
we
why?
can't require
The No Kings,
the No
But
Kings.
why?
it's.
And do we,
There's no constitutional right to have a plant sale.
okay, do we require them to have insurance, right, as it stands right now? I don't think so.
No.
we do.
Okay.
So our old policy suggested that we may require insurance. The new policy doesn't mention anything about insurance because I don't think there's any groups that we would require to have insurance, since we can't have the First Amendment ones.
Yeah, I don't even want to.
Would be the larger of the
Mine is,
gatherings,
what is the purpose of the insurance? What do we work, if somebody right now walks on the common and they trip and fall over X, a tree, tree falls and hits them in the head, whose policy is that? Is that theirs? Okay. So we're trying to say, what? That you need to get your own insurance if you get to a certain number?
But that would be for their people, I think. Wouldn't it? Isn't it like a rider?
I'm
But I
just
mean,
trying to
it sounds like it's not, that there's really, it's either gonna be some sort of a free speech rally, or it's going to be a not-for-profit that's doing some sort of a fundraiser. Or like Rotary did the powwow tent sleepover thing one night.
Yeah.
It's a fundraiser.
I mean, we're getting into the specific events, right? I do think if we just talk about, I don't think to me personally, I don't think the insurance thing is necessary. Now, in fact, I just said that on TV, the next thing you know, something's gonna happen, right? But,
Right.
and the town would be, I'm just trying to get around, the town's gonna be liable to some degree regardless. If something happens on the common, whether it's,
Litigious society.
So what if over a certain size, we just ask them to sign a release and say, we're gonna indemnify the town for any damages?
did you, is that part, was that
I don't know if you can do that or not,
Well, if they want to use our space, they have to agree to some terms, right?
but you're asking the organizer to agree to terms for the people that are there.
So then they assume the liability? So maybe they should get insurance. All right, I don't,
And then that's chilling as well.
Here's the thing, if we're talking free speech, I wanted just to kind of look at it as everything, but if something happens to someone on our Littleton Common for a free speech thing, then we should probably have some liability. That being said, we should probably also have the right to have LPD there if it gets to a certain number, because that increases the potential of someone falling under the road at 119 in a car hitting them, or which a car insurance will probably have to pay for that, but in general, right?
Yeah, but you can sit there and do the what ifs all day
Yeah,
long.
absolutely.
I know, but
What
you-
if someone like, what if I was there and Chuck pushed me into the road
Yeah.
and stuff, but, the grounds were fine, there was no trip hazards, there was nothing like that, but
Right, the attorneys would
he
be.
just gave me a little shove.
Okay.
Wanna go for a walk?
I guarantee I'll be the only one coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no playing in traffic clause on your contract, so we've got, yeah, I tend to agree with Gary. I don't think, it makes a whole lot of sense to require insurance. And in terms of, releases, I don't see how that works practically speaking.
I mean, we've done it.
super effectively.
I've been, go four-wheeling at a big company that does four-wheeling. You go up there, everybody on the party has to sign a release before you get here,
Yeah.
So that is a thing, but I
That's
just,
a private thing, right?
Yeah,
That was
right, I
a
just-
private business, right?
yeah, so I'm not,
Paintball or
yeah, I'm not,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
the
remember taking my
trampoline
kids to
park.
little like jungle gyms and you had to sign a release for
Right,
a
and if-
birthday party.
if somebody said they were going to set up a bouncy house on the common, then I would say, okay, now we've.
Right, now we've got an
we've
issue.
broached- We've reached a new level of something, but.
Right,
Well, it's just like when we have bouncy houses at, what, Oktoberfest?
yeah,
So.
and they have
the insurance
certificates of insurance, yeah.
100%.
Okay. So people standing on our common, the freedom of speech, eating sandwiches, whatever.
In a bouncy house.
Not in a bouncy house. Anything in excess of a bouncy house or a trampoline or
Drinking a really hot beverage.
a jumping jack. Try-
Drinking real hot alcohol.
All right, so I guess let's stick to this, what Mark has put together. Do we want to put a number in here, and what are people,
I think Karen's idea of putting it relatively high,
150 people?
yeah, something like that.
So I'll
is
reach
good.
out to Chief Pinard and see what he thinks. They would, what number he thinks would alter the police behavior for the day.
That's a good call.
That's a good idea.
Okay, because that's important, because
Yeah.
that would be the number that we would want the permit. If he's saying if they get over 150, whatever this group is, whether it's a,
It's not whether they're gonna put a detail out, it's whether they're going to start patrolling the area more frequently or do something,
Or even add a body.
right?
okay,
So I will ask him what that number should be.
Great.
Thank you.
So,
the rest of it.
and I don't think we should vote this tonight.
No.
No, but you did a
It was
good job. I
just-
mean, the open
Yeah.
flames, obviously, a lot of the other communities had this. I don't know how Lexington got away with that one. That was one I missed. That's the most
I mean-
unbelievable, literally the cradle of our
I know,
country.
right? Andover
That's
requires.
pretty strict.
Andover requires a release and proof of insurance.
Yeah, so I
So-
wonder if something happened in Lexington where this, maybe,
lots happened in
maybe
Lexington.
something in 1776, maybe. Where they felt
You were there this summer.
And now it's time for the airing of the grievances. No, you can't, you need a permit.
Yeah.
Can't put the Festivus pole in the ground.
Great.
It's gotta be on a tripod. All right,
Yes.
are the stakes in here somewhere?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
down
Yeah,
there.
okay. Yeah, I didn't have any other, the only thing that I had a question about was the numbers.
So the other thing that town council is questioning if other organizations would have to do a permit, like the Board of Health, but I couldn't actually come up with when the Board of Health would have to do a permit, because if like a food truck was there, they would already have to be permitted, they wouldn't be permitted
Yeah,
by
if they pulled
this.
them to one of the
So
stalls
if
on the side.
anyone
Right.
has, yeah. And I did look, our regulations do allow food trucks at the common already, so that's not something that would be an exception.
So does Parks and Rec have to do a permit for Oktoberfest on the Common if there's more than 150
Buffet
people?
Park or,
No, Park and Rec wouldn't have to because we exclude town
Oh,
organizations.
okay, good,
So Veterans Day doesn't need
okay.
the veterans agent doesn't need a permit.
so no grills.
No girls. No bonfires.
Yeah, this is good. This doesn't, I don't think this is limiting. This is keeps in the line of keeping people safe. It's not hindering, we're not, I don't think, approaching any First Amendment issues here. The biggest First Amendment issue would be requiring a permit for a certain number, but that should solely be based on safety. And if we're getting our top safety officer in town to say, yeah, if things got this big, we'd
That does seem defensible.
But once again, we should keep in mind, he could say, no, if anybody, over 10 people.
Right.
So we've got to, I think we kind of set on at least 100, but even maybe a little more than that, because it's a good sized space down there.
It's a lot of space.
100 people would barely fill up.
There's at least a couple hundred for tree lighting, I would say.
I'd say.
And there's
Well,
still
they
a lot of common
They
left.
said they're buying 360 donuts, so.
It's a good.
Yeah,
'cause
but I
each
eat
kid
40
takes
I eat
6.
40 of those, so
There's
Nothing
nothing,
responded already.
I've already RSVP'd
You put in your
40 times.
request.
Yeah.
so there's nothing really bigger that we do on the common besides
think the
The
tree
tree
lighting's
lighting,
the
right?
That's
biggest.
about as big
So
as
let's,
it
when we
I don't
go
think
there,
you
I
could
mean,
do anything bigger.
some
than
of us
the
will
tree
be there,
lighting.
let's count, let's just do it, that, because that's the most ridiculous possible thing you could have down there.
Yeah.
Let's see what that looks like and what that'll give us an idea. And I'll personally count everybody, I'm gonna hand everybody a number.
You're gonna be up the tree, looking down.
Take this number.
In terms of the veterans area, if we wanted to protect that within the policy, I could see two different ways of doing it. One would be to say, stay off of the area that's designated.
Veterans
Or
Corner.
be respectful of, or we redefine, we separate the common from the veterans corner.
Exclude the Veterans Corner from the common, basically.
Right, so that
We'll be putting
your
drinks on the
common,
stones and.
yeah, so your common permit by definition does not include.
Oh, I see, yeah.
I think putting like a paragraph in there saying, be respectful of this corner, don't use it, don't enter it if you, except in a respectful manner, that's probably enough for anybody who reads this policy to be like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
Because miscreant's gonna miscreant no matter what, right?
Right.
yeah. And I think we need to look into ways to make it easy for folks to identify, even if they haven't lived here for a long time.
Where to
Anybody
stop.
walking up from anywhere would be able to say, oh, this is different than that.
Yeah,
you know?
it is definitely pretty obvious.
So,
Great.
Okay, so I'll work with you on language for that. I'll work with the police chief on the number, and other than that, we're fairly satisfied.
and Chuck, you're gonna keep looking into
Yeah.
physical?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let Chief know
Yeah.
what our board's thinking.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
he
I
can
will.
at least understand that we're not talking 10 people, 5 people, and really want to make this as open a space as possible. And what does that mean for the police when we?
And on Veterans Corner, Chuck, is someone going to look into, like, if we're going to put fencing up or whatever, in the cost and who would be? I'm just wondering, as we're approaching budget season, if we need to say, how big it is, or we're going to get donations for it or whatever.
Capital
We'll be able to
plan
get
or-
donations for
So
it, yeah.
it should just be something we're aware of and planning for
I'll get,
and now.
I'll get some information from Steve as to what would work best for his guys. What's gonna,
You're not going to be annoying enough to pick up and put down. So it'd have to be almost like a little gardening black fence.
Yeah, see, but then it's a
People can step
massive
over it.
tripping hazard.
yeah.
Folks will just walk right into that.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe it's some
Put
posts. and some
Claymore
chains.
Mines all the way around.
Claymore Mines, that's where I'm going.
Claymores are good.
You don't want people tripping.
And maybe some posts, some chains, just to truly
With
delineate
really
it,
sharp
but-
spikes on top.
Right.
All right, so we won't do that, but
Tiger pits, maybe?
Ooh.
A moat?
just be respectful.
Enough notes
Be
out
respectful of the space. How's that? Let's get back to that.
Okay.
Okay.
I wonder, I can't visualize the space, but it would be worth thinking about whether Shade Tree Committee had ideas for natural barriers.
Low evergreens or something like that.
Yeah,
I'll ask that question.
yeah. Okay. Mr. Administrator, update us,
Still here,
please.
Chairwoman. What's that?
You still here?
I'm still here. Well, some quick updates. Here we have, as a result of Mr. Rumbacher reminding myself last week about the request about DOT with the Great Road and King Street speed limit reduction request. I sent an email out on last Thursday or Friday, and I heard back Friday morning from DOT. And they apologize for the delay, but they are going to, they inform me that all the speed data has been collected and will follow up with me this week with their findings and recommendation before DOT formally requests to revise anything with the state traffic engineer. So that looks like that loop is gonna close this week.
Jim, if I may, we have full control over this, though, after that is done, DOT says, here's the situation, here's our recommendation. We still have control as a select board on whether to follow through with their recommendation or not.
Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure that we're not, because we opened up a can of worms now, and they might come up with some, I don't know. I have no idea what to expect from them at this point.
Right, neither do I.
Maybe
There was
nothing.
no indication
But-
from the communication one way or the other.
But are we allowed to go above and beyond if they say X? That was, I guess, where I was going with it.
Probably not. We can't go beyond there because they have to get the blessing also from the state engineer, traffic engineer.
Okay.
So, budget. As you know, that we have been meeting with department heads on a regular basis. We have started last week, and we will be done the first round with the department heads, and there will be a round two in areas that the finance team has made some, we've made some comments, we made some notes in particular areas. So we will understand, because there is that gap that we're gonna have to, close, do the best we can to close. Shaker Lane Pre-Qualification Committee. Last week, the scores, the committee was provided score sheets to rank, to score the 8 companies that submitted on who would be interviewed. And it was decided at today's meeting that of the 8, 6 will be interviewed. And typically it's 3, and the reason why it's 6 is those 6 were pretty tight together, numbers-wise. There wasn't much of a gap, 3 points here, 1 point there. So, but then from number 6 to 7, it was over 40 points. So those last 2 dropped off. And we are doing that. Mr. Cataldo's company is finishing up the project between, obviously the tennis courts are all done, with the baseball field, and it looks phenomenal.
Really good.
It looks beautiful, outstanding job. And also, speaking, you already mentioned it earlier, Mr. Wilson, about the town clerk. Thank you to the superintendent, and also Justin, the chairman of the school committee, the town clerk, working together with getting the approval, the authorization going forward to build a shed at the back of the school. So that will be a place for storage at this, for anything. So because I know that it's the wish of the select board for us to continue to have spillover, in case that occurs. So now it's a matter of looking at expansion with the purchase of clickers, which is the new clickers, which are additional ones rather, which is in the town clerk's budget, and also looking at chairs, because there's right around, especially the Springtown meeting, you have a lot of events renting a lot of chairs. So we're thinking of maybe do we purchase our own, that'll be the storage for those. So kudos to the town clerk and the school building and the school committee working together. Tomorrow night for Conservation Commission, the public hearing is gonna be held for the docks of Long Lake and that situation.
Can I jump in for a second?
Of course you can.
No, Jim, just a quick question on the chairs. I know that there was some back and forth on whether or not we could use like the mezzanine behind where we sit at town meeting.
Yeah.
Where we see the flag and scoreboard and all that kind of stuff. Up above that, there's stairwells on either end of that mezzanine, if you will.
It's a huge
And
space.
it
Used to be the weightlifting.
Yeah, used for the old high school gym. Is there, instead of us building a shed, is there the possibility of us finding out what we need to do in order to use that space for?
How do you get up there?
Either side was a stairwell that goes like this. But there's like, up there, it's probably 20 foot wide, up behind where we sit, 20 feet that wall, then there's like 20 feet of space
Out to
to
the outside
the
of the
back wall, where that used to be where all the Universal was, all the weightlifting for all the sports, that's where you used to lift.
Bowling machines?
So I know there's space, but I have to assume it's being fully utilized for
I don't think
something.
it is. I think it was taken out. I don't know.
I don't even know if it's still there, I'm just saying that's what used to be there.
Yeah.
I just want to ask if we can, at one point, somebody made the decision, no, we can't store stuff up there anymore. So I don't know if that was the principal, I don't know if it was the superintendent, I don't know if it was the fire chief. I have somebody made a decision and there was nothing being.
There's definitely a lot of space there.
Because we used to go back there and would coach basketball and stuff, and we store all your gear back there rather than all having home.
The teams that go up there and huddle before, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if it's not flammable. You know, maybe if it's
Yeah.
just chairs, they might be okay with it versus random
Just a
stuff.
thought, rather than, I mean,
Yeah,
You're full of thoughts today, aren't you?
yeah, well,
Yeah.
just.
I thought he was gonna go
Pick
with
the
like
scab,
O'Neill
buddy.
Cinema, O'Neill Cinema type chairing for the,
It's surround sound.
just to draw people out, you know?
Also wanted to let you know that LELWD, the Board of Health, and Lapoli Companies have met last week to discuss about dismantling the plant
Ooh,
over there.
game on.
Game on is right. And as I think you all are aware, that the application will be submitted for the first, for a portion of Phase 1 for the planning board for site plan review. That should be at some point, any time now, because of the December planning board meeting. And so then, and then the commercial component is gonna be the first thing presented, portion that's along the street. That's gonna have the commercial on the, and then residential on the top.
Yep.
And then immediately behind that site plan design, that submission is gonna be a second submission of the 309 residential units in a different portion of,
Back left there.
correct, of the back left. So that's a continued work in progress. And that's it.
I believe that plan's for the December 15th planning board meeting.
Is it the 15th? Thank you.
It's a Monday meeting, yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
That's out of character, right? Usually the Thursdays?
Yeah, it's a special meeting.
Oh, they had a special meeting, right, okay. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
That's all we got, right?
That's it?
I think we're done.
that's it.
Second.
Moved by Matthew, seconded by Gary. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thanks, everyone.
Stay safe, folks.
Good night.
Happy Thanksgiving.